No, thank you very much for the questions. And I thought we'd said when, in the main statement, that I don't want to speak about Mkondo Wesizwe party here. So if you say, why did you join and what attracts you, then you are forcing me to speak about Mkondo Wesizwe party here and the reasons. I will talk about Mkondo Wesizwe openly in the appropriate platforms. And that is what we'll do. What I know, though, is that the Progressive Caucus Charter, which was co-signed by Mkondo Wesizwe Party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, the ATM, the NCC, and the UAT, amongst other things, says that we shall fight for expropriation of land without compensation for equitable redistribution. So that joint charter which we signed also says that we're going to fight for the nationalization of the commanding heights of the economy, in particular the mines and the banks. It also says that we're going to strengthen our democracy by ensuring that the government and all captains of the ruling class are held accountable to achieve a corrupt-free society. It also says that we shall fight for the decolonization of legal and cultural apparatuses in society as a whole, with emphasis on an Afrocentric philosophy of law. So the charter which we jointly signed says that we shall fight for free quality education, healthcare, housing, water, and sanitation. It also says that we're going to fight for the industrial development of the African economy, attainment of peace and stability in all its nations. And it also says that we shall defend and promote the liberation, struggle legacy, and progressive internationalism. And part of the key tenets of the political ideological agreement that I know jointly defines the EFF and Mkondo Wesizwe Party is anti-capitalism, it's anti-racism, it's anti-sexism, it's anti-colonialism. And those, an anti-imperialist character as well, the rule of law. And those are the values which I know I can say this because these are values that commonly characterize the political parties. So one thing which I don't do, Samkel, I'm sure you could have realized, is that I don't entertain rumors and speculations. So even if people spread false things about what happened and what didn't happen, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I deal with politics and political content strictly. So every time I'm going to have a political discussion or a media discussion, it will strictly be on content issues and how do we shape society, how do we build a progressive society which is going to benefit the black majority and Africans in particular. So that is the agenda that we're going to be communicating. Those things of who met who, when, and all of those things, like, I went to Nkandla during elections, or last year, when we were setting up structures. I've never been to Nkandla in the recent past, but I don't want to enter into that discussion. And I will not be tempted, not once, to take platforms to talk about personal issues. All the time, we'll stick to the commitment of talking politics, of content, of ideology, of just how do we take society forward. That is strictly what we're going to deal with. The rest of the issues, I don't think they are worth responding. Thank you very much.
No to DP. CIC, can I hand over to you to close?
Me and Floyd had a meeting yesterday at his place for a very long time, just the two of us. Because when I got the news, I was in Polokwane, and I asked to see him, and I met him. But open, frank debate about it. And then later we're joined by the SG. We spoke about everything. And then this morning at 10, we had a meeting of the officials. And then we're invited to the last lunch by the TG after the meeting. So before we came here, we ate together. Because there's nothing personal about political personal decisions. So you can be rest assured nothing is really going to affect our relationship. Well, I've got no relationship, none whatsoever, or association with President Zuma. I don't have any kind. So we fought President Zuma, and then when he was out, we're done with it. So to pursue him, even after his term of office, will be unreasonable. And that's why I never saw a need to speak bad about him in the elections, because my focus was on the main political party that we seek to remove from power. So I can't be concentrating on other political opposition parties instead of concentrating on the main target, which was the ANC and the DA. Those were the two parties ahead of us. So that's what we focused on. And I've never taken any platform to speak bad about President Zuma, because I believe that it's not my space to be fighting other small political parties. We need to focus on the main enemies of the revolution. There are people who spoke very bad about MK, spoke very bad about President Zuma, who are going to join him now. That's the nature of politics. Politics, if we're in the stock market, it was going to be a very volatile stock because of in and out. You can't say, no, they are here, they are forever here. So we take that risk as we continue to build the organization. There will not be any replacement of the DP because we're going to the conference in December, so there's no need. But also, if you appoint anyone to be deputy president now, you are creating expectations. And when we arrive there, that person is not elected as president. You cause more problems now. So we are very fortunate, though unfortunate, that it happens on the eve of the conference. And the conference will be able to resolve that. I can't give a list of who's going to join MK after Floyd. I didn't know Floyd was going to join MK. So if I didn't know about Floyd, can you imagine about others? Because I'm more close to Floyd, more than anyone else. So if I didn't know about Floyd, you can expect that there will be others. Our relationship with MK does not get affected by individual members joining MK or leaving MK to join EFF or anything. Our relationship is defined by what the deputy president has read as a charter for progressive caucus. And that's what brings us together with MK. I don't know about pending charges of VBS or anything of that sort. So I wouldn't say there was anything necessitated by that. Samkele, I know of a long list of people who are double pegging. They're EFF, they're MK, I know them. Sometimes I tell them that this one is going to move, this one is going to move, this one. So some of these things don't shock us because we anticipated them, we see them as they come. But we must be rest assured that the organization will live beyond us. You talk about FNB and then talk about Northern Cape. You know there are no people in Northern Cape. So you want a big rally in Northern Cape where there are no people. There are no people. The whole of Northern Cape was at that stadium. So where must I go get others from? Northern Cape does not come anywhere close to Soweto. So to compare FNB with Northern Cape is unrealistic. And what is worse about FNB is that we had buses all over South Africa coming to the rally at the FNB. We didn't have that at the Northern Cape. Actually, the Northern Cape rally shocked us because we're just from the elections. People are exhausted, there's fatigue. But the way the people of Northern Cape responded reaffirmed that this organization is going to live for a very long time. This is not the beginning of the end of the EFF. This is the beginning of a new chapter for the EFF. This organization will be here for a very long time. Samkelo, you know, we don't preside over failed projects. Once we put our mind into it, we put our souls into it, we will work tirelessly for this organization, including in KZN. We have not given up on KZN. I don't know of a meeting between Floyd and President Zuma. When did Manye resign? Monday, this Monday. Yeah, Monday. But even before he left, he sent me a message saying he wants to see me. He asked for an appointment through the SG, and the SG is not acting on that appointment, so he's coming directly to ask me for a meeting. I referred back the communication to SG, and SG's response was very simple. He's leaving. So he's going to MK. So what meeting for what? Because he's leaving. Why must we have a meeting? He's leaving. So he wants me to call you to come and tell you that he's leaving. He's leaving. And then that was when Friday, Thursday, somewhere there. And then Monday he resigned. SG sent me the letter. And I've not done anything. I've not spoken to him. It's not my place. He has made his own decision. I'm not aware of Floyd going to challenge me in the next conference of the EFF. If anything, where such rumors were raised, no one even bothered to bring them forward as a threat that, no, Malian Guardian said this, you see the plan of these guys is clear, because no one ever took that very serious, because there was no such a thing. And there was never a discussion to replace Floyd as the deputy president. All of the informal talks I've listened to, there's never been a single person who came to me and said, we need to remove Floyd. If anything, I've heard that Marshall is going to be contested and things like that. But I've never heard that about Floyd. And that there's a possibility of a contestation between the two of us. So this could not have been necessitated by paging or fighting between me and Floyd, because there was no such a conflict. So we are where we are. Painful as it is, we have to accept it, and we have to move on. It was unexpected. Some of our leaders shed tears this morning because it came as a shock, and they've never seen it happening. So we accept it. There's nothing much we can do about personal decisions. When people take personal political decisions, that should never lead into enmity. We drink holy water with Castle Matal. For many years, since the formation of the EFF, but he's a member of the ANC, he's a leader of the ANC, he's a deputy minister of police. That has never made us to be enemies. So I'm giving you that example, that belonging to a different political party does not make you an enemy. But we must accept that people will have personal decisions and personal developments, and that we are not stuck where we are. What you need to know is that I will remain a loyal and disciplined member of the EFF, and that my coffin will be draped with the flag of the EFF. Even if I remain alone, I will do so because I'm loyal to this cause. And when there were rumors that I'm joining the ANC, my grandmother was still alive and said to me, you can join the ANC and get all the benefits you want. But what about these people who turned against the ANC in support of you? What's going to happen to these people? So many people's careers were destroyed. So many people became poor, and some lost even their homes because of this idea called the EFF. And to resign from it, I will be betraying those people who said we're prepared to take this risk because we believe in the vision of the EFF and its generational mission. So I want to reassure the ground forces of the EFF, loyal, hardworking, disciplined ground forces of the EFF. I am with you, and I will never turn my back against this organization. And I will never turn my back against this building named after one of the best leaders our struggle has produced, Winnie Madikizela Mandela House. So, this organization has got leadership. This organization has got structures. And the structures are seized with the process of preparing for conference. So be rest assured, tomorrow, the doors of this building will still be opened. We're not closing this building today, and we're not closing this building tomorrow. It will remain here as a monument for the struggle for economic freedom in our lifetime. So I want to repeat, I will be buried with the flag of the EFF. My coffin will be draped with the flag of the EFF, and I will never turn my back on my people. Thank you.